Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Motors Mouth podcast. Yes, we made it to episode 2. I'm Patrick Bratton and this is your one-stop shop for everything Vauxhall Motors. Steve Hilton's with me. Steve, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Great season, great month for the season so far. August kicked on. All good.
And check us out, we've got a brand new audio kit. We're doing alright, aren't we?
Yeah, we had a new Carragher and level of non-league football.
So August has come and gone. We'll go into detail about the games and whatnot, but have you got a particular highlight of August so far for the Motors?
It's got to be the last minute Burkey wonder goal against Winsford United, getting beat 2-0. I said on the day, last season I think we would have lost that 3 or 4-0, but the resilience to come back second half, 3 goals, topped off by a great Burkey wonder goal, which I'm sure we'll hear a bit more on that later as well.
I mean, on the pitch, I don't think I could disagree with that as a highlight. On the commentary side of things, I think we've had some great guests on, but I think my highlight of the season so far has been Swallownest away, and having the young lads, Fred and Will, on for the second half of commentary, just like spending the afternoon talking football with them was a real joy.
Yeah, the whole day at Swallownest was great. The results, fantastic. But from the minute we got the hospitality from the Swallownest, volunteers was second to none. They made us feel at home. They give us position to set up the commentary, and then Paul brought over the 2 young lads and asked if they could do a bit of shadow. And it was at half time. One of them said, I think it was Fred said, "Can we jump on for 5 minutes?" So I said, "Yeah, no problem." And then left them all off. Jumped on for the end, really. But 2 great young lads. But fantastic club, community spirit, and just the way they treated people. It was just it was a joy to be there.
It's everything that non-league football's about, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always said the volunteers, unsung heroes, really. So they're just a great group of people. And we've been to games where you just, they're not bothered about you. Some clubs, I'm not naming any names like that, but these from minute one, they made us feel so welcome. And the free sausage roll straight away. It was always a nice touch as well.
What we didn't realise that day was Will, who joined us, actually runs the Swallownest YouTube fan channel. Well, he has his own little podcast, and he didn't mention that, so we'd like to give a shout out to Will and his show. Let's hope you do some bits, as they say in the industry. So before we get cracking, you just want to have a little note about things that we said in the last show and what we were going to do in this show.
Yeah, so we were going to start the Legends Talk this month. We're going to go back and I was going to interview and just catch up with players from the great years, the late 90s, early noughties. The squad I was involved with, they got multiple promotions, the FA Cup run, league title, cup wins as well. So my first guest was going to be Greg Bundle, who's a very good friend of mine. But unfortunately, he's a physio at Liverpool Academy, just work commitments. He's unable to attend today, but we'll get Greg on a later show, and we'll get that section set up for next month as well.
Some more to come on the Motors Mouth podcast, but let's kick off by taking a deep dive into August for the Motors. So the month of August kicked off with Motors' first away game. That was Lower Breck, and Steve had to come back from 1-0 down to win that game.
Yeah, always said it, Scouts games, Scouts teams, win your battles first. We're 1-0 down to a great strike, the lads bent to the top corner. We should have been 2-3 by that point anyway, but it just never happened. But second half, fantastic, 2 goals. I think we said on commentary at 1-1, there was another goal in it. Great display away from home, tough place to go, and Thursday night, brilliant.
The only blot on Motors' record so far this season was their entry into the FA Cup extra preliminary round. They went to Shropshire to face Richards Allport, and as much as it was a gorgeous sunny day, it didn't turn out too well for Vauxhall.
That's why I mentioned Thursday night, just going on a Lower Breck game, because I do think that had a major burden on getting knocked out this FA Cup. I think we played for 40 hours.
Yeah, it was less than 2 days anyway, wasn't it?
Tough game at Lower Breck, a battle. I think it just took that bit of edge out of us. it was just, they scored, a punt through the middle, and then, it was Ben Owen was just, I think it was a slip more than a rash, but 2-0 down, it was always an uphill task second half, and to be fair to them, we've seen the game out, but I don't think we were at our best that game, and I put it down to that Thursday night football.
I think Nick spoke of that mitigating circumstance. He was disappointed, but he understood the reasons why they got beat.
Was he?
Yeah.
he covered it. But I do think that had a major factor. We just every game so far this season we've had a bit of edge and a bit of tenacity about us. It was missing for that game.
They quickly got back to winning ways with another away game, this time at Earlham, and this was during the heat wave, so we had a gorgeous day at once again, and a solid performance from Moses 2-0.
Yeah, again, it was a really, I mean, I remember the ground was bone dry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just hitting
We were waiting for the clouds to give us some shade,
playing against the clouds cover. It was a scorch of a day. I think it was acting a couple of days with like 35 degrees, wasn't it? But again, another good professional performance, kept it tight at the back. 2 second half goals. Jordan Deere, I think, stood out that game with an assist and a goal. I think the second goal he tracked back, didn't he, and won it off the midfielder centre half, can't really remember, but he played a really good game, but a great result to be from home and another clean sheet as well.
Jordan Deere was on fire in that game. He came in midway through the season this season. He's really stepped up so far this season.
Yeah, one of the fans on Swallow Nest on Saturday actually come up to me and said he's like our Paul Scholes, which I think it's a good compliment. But he pinpointed Jordan Deere and said how impressed he was as well, so people are noticing him, but he has been fantastic this season.
So the Moses returned home after that, and they faced West Didsbury on Tuesday night, and again we've seen the same thing with a solid performance.
Yeah, well, Leeds won the league last year.
Promoted, yeah.
I think they won. I think they also beat someone 17-0. I think they.
It was like 17 or 18-1, yeah.
Ridiculous score. I know these guys. I had a little look at them, and they get some great home supports, like 500-600. But again, just another, great performance. I think fitness showed towards the end as well.
That's the thing that was talked about a lot about.
Pre-season, the first thing they done was a bleep test, and they ran them because we did lose games last year. Whether it's down to fitness, I don't want to call any players out from the fitness side, but we did lose a couple of games towards like the 1991st, 92nd last year. So it's great to see us grinding these results out and coming on really strong in the second half.
So following that, there was a first ever tie as FC Ironman visited the Van Newcombe Arena. Now personally, I think this one was really pivotal because although Vauxhall went 2-0 up, injuries just decimated the side, and they were hanging on at the end.
Yeah, especially James O'Callaghan as well.
And he had to play on.
Yeah, he played on. I mean, he said he was off a kick and he's just felt something pulling his side. But even when he was injured, he's pulled off. I mean, there was one save near post, and he's like come out like Schmeichel-esque and spread himself with his feet, and then there was like a reflex save down to his right hand side, which he's got across really well. But I think the goal he scored, it's gone over his head. I think if it Jake catches or tips that over the bar, no problem. But it was a nervy end. I think there's a lot of injury time as well, similar to the Newcastle last night. We've seen it out, and that's the bit of guts we've got this season. It seems different that as last season we probably went through that game. Just that bit of grit and determination, seeing it through.
I think that game as well started quite a trend for a certain player in front of goal, but we'll come into that in a minute. And then next up is possibly the highlight of August so far, Winsford United at home, and if we're being honest, the first half was pretty wretched, 2-0 down.
Yeah, they done the job on us. They defended pretty well. We had a couple of shots. I remember Bobby had only he's put over the bar, but they've hit us twice on the counter. We had Damon Easton come back in. Obviously James was injured from the Ironman game. Probably would have, as a goalkeeper, he'd probably be a bit disappointed for the second goal. But yeah, they just did it twice, and you know, 2-0 down.
It seems like it was 2 goals in 23 minutes.
Yeah, really, really close together. But you know, 2-0 down half time, or is the run coming into it? You know, that's what we thought.
I think everyone would have been thinking that.
You know, it was just one of the halves. I'd probably say that the worst 45 minutes of this season.
Yeah. But then, complete polar opposite for the second half, and some absolute perfect pair of goals. We won't spoil the goals so far, but we saw some spectacular efforts in the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, we said before about the highlights of the month so far, and is that comeback. So we would have lost that game, no doubt about it, last season. But there's something a bit different and special about it this season that Mick McGrath's built. We got one back, and I remember the person sat next to in the stand said, if we get one, we get three. And it was going on, and I think what was the second goal, 86, 80?
Time was ticking away, yeah.
And then obviously, you know, I mean the second goal as well, I would just say fantastic sight by Bobby McDonald as well. Control the ball, reverse shot off the crossbar, always look better when it's off the crossbar, into the side net, 2-2. You'd probably say, do we take a point there? But we were just going for it, we were camped in their half, they never got out, and you just knew something was going to happen.
So, as I said, I don't know about you, but I felt once the first goal went in, that second was going to come.
We just needed that first to, you know, put a bit of doubt into their minds as well and give us a bit more confidence. And we just absolutely battered them second half. So once we got the second, there's still a bit of time to go, and up steps Michael Burkey.
And then following that comeback win, they noticed entered the FA Vars first qualifying round, as we've mentioned before, away to Swallownest. Buckley carried on his goal scoring form with 2, but he was outdone by Bobby McDonald once again. He got himself a hat-trick.
Yeah, he's really settled in now, Bobby, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Both of them. And you know, there's teams out there that be looking for a striker who'll score 20 goals a season. I think we've got 2 that'll get 20 plus between each, which, you know, it's unheard of really. You know, that's what we struggled last season. We didn't have an out-and-out goal scorer. We've got two gems there. You know, different players as well. Lewis, he likes to hold the ball up, he'll get amongst it. He's a big
puts in a proper shift as well.
But he can finish as well. We've seen that against Bears goal. We've seen that, you know, the goals he scored, he can finish, he knows what the goal is. Bobby, you know, he's a tricky player, he's got a little turn and touch in him. But again, he knows what the goal is. It's great to have 2 players like that.
That's like no one's kicking him.
Exactly.
Just in the FA Vars, from the North West Counties perspective, 2 interesting results that really caught my eye. Charnock Richard, they played Bottisford Town and 8-0. That's a pretty impressive scoreline. But possibly the result of the round, Avro knocked out in penalties by Henry.
Yeah. I think they're still not conceded the goal. I might be wrong, but
no, in the league, no, they haven't conceded the goal.
No, I thought they would have won. I thought that would have been us playing that road next one, which would have been a tough one. And I always said about the Vars, if the draws are kind to you, you can go a long way. So first one, you want your home draws, and then you want to avoid the big boys. And I don't think you could have got a worse side than Avro. Knowing them from the league, they'll be up there with us this season. But they've gone out, so we welcome them next round.
And that'll be the second qualifying round. The FA Vars played sometime late in September, and the Monitors rounded off their August with a bank holiday Monday win, another 5 goals, Steve, against Bearscough, and there was just no stopping Lewis Buckley. After he saw McDonald get a hat-trick on Saturday, he was determined to stay on.
Like tip and Saturday, you do it, I'll do it then.
That competition must be great for strikers.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we get a nice trophy for the top goal scorer for the podcast team, and then they can battle for that as well. But 10 goals in 2 games in the space of 48 hours with 0 conceded. You can't ask for more than that. But we carried on. To be totally honest with you, it's the worst Bearscough team I've seen in a long time. I think they've done us here last year.
Yeah.
2 late goals.
Yeah.
But they were poor. But you still got to.
You've got to be able to exactly, yeah.
And we were ruthless. You know, Lewis Buckley at it. Brilliant.
I spoke to Nick at the end of the game, and he said he just couldn't take him off because he wanted to get that hat-trick so much. And an impressive result considering they were back and from Saturday with a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, and we had there was a trip on Saturday as well, where we played at home. You know, it was a good 2.5 hour drive to Swallownest as well. So no doubt the coach. Well, I've seen the videos of the coach. The coach was bouncing. The lads would have had a few beers. So it's a quick turnaround to Monday, but it was another professional shift. And like you say, you know, I don't think Bearscough would turn up any things this year, but you know, you've got to be what's in front here. We went out on a professional job, 5-0, top of the league, great end of the month.
And just a quick mention to two players, or one Vauxhall player who would take much interest in the latter part of the show. On debut, Matthew Bean from the reserves. That's a good sign for the club as a whole.
Yeah, great to see. I mean, Mick played a few reserve youth team in the Cheshire Cup last year, so he's not afraid to bring them in. He's come in, you know, I think he grew into the game, but he looked fantastic. You know, that's the second right back. We obviously lost Ethan, so he's come in again. So yeah, great performance, great debut for the club.
So in the month of August, that's 8 games played, 7 in the league. Obviously that disappointment in the FA Cup, but 100% in the league, top of the table. It's been a near perfect August. Now we turn our attention to a couple of individual awards, and we'll kick off with the Motorsport Player of the Month. Now, we're pretty unanimous about who it's going to be, but we'll discuss some honourable mentions. Steve, so have you got any honourable mentions for Player of the Month, or a player that's impressed during the month of August?
Jordan Deere. I said it before, I think he's been a revelation this season. Now he's settled into the pre-season with us. It's been fantastic. The Earlham away, brilliant. But he looks so comfortable. He'll get the ball, he can switch, he can find the pass. For his size, well, he's tenacious in the tackle, he doesn't shake nothing. So yeah, he would have been my choice if somebody else hadn't been the non-league Haaland.
I just have to give out a quick shout out to two players who I think have gone a little bit under the radar so far this season. Ben Holmes, I know he's got injured in the last 2 games, I think it is. He stepped up as captain, and he's really taken on that role. And he said to me, like, it's not something he expected, but he's enjoying it. And to Greg Drummond, I think, you know, the back line's been changed a few times in the last few games, but he's been a really solid, consistent performer at left back, and he gives as much an attack as he does defence. But with all that being said, there could only be one winner, and with 9 goals in 7 games in August, the Motorsport Player of the Month can only be Lewis Buckley.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly.
So now we'll move on to goal of the month, the Motorsport Goal of the Month, and there was 21 goals in August, you know, so we had plenty of choice, but Steve and I have whittled it down to 5, and Lewis Buckley has 2 contenders in this, so we might fancy his chances. Let's have a look at the 5 goals that we selected.
It's black and white. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. It's black and white.
So, Steve, 5 different goals, all different types of goals. You got Jordan Deere Earlham's really tricky feet and, you know, a tidy finish, and then you've got, you know, Lewis's goal at Swallownest where he thumped it, and, you know, it was a great strike. As you mentioned before, Bobby off the crossbar against Winsford, but I'll allow you to do the honours. There's only one winner for the goal of the month.
It's Michael Burkey. You know, I think there's no way you couldn't have not had that goal. You know, one, it's a fantastic strike. Two, it's topped off a win for us. And thirdly, it completed the comeback from 2-0 down. But it was some strike. He's got it, cut inside his right foot, bent it, smashed it. You couldn't. If anyone says they disagree with that, come and see me. They'll have to talk about it, because there's no way you could not have picked Michael Burkey for that goal.
So a 96th minute winner in a 3-2 comeback on his 100th appearance for Vauxhall Motors. The Motors Mouth goal of the month goes to Michael Burkey versus Winsford.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly.
So I'm here with Michael Burkey just to present his award for Goal of the Month from the Motors podcast. Well
Cheers,
done.
nice
Congratulations.
One. Nice
It's
one.
a great strike, last minute winner on your 100th appearance.
Cheers, thank you.
Just talk us through the goal. So you've obviously cut inside. Was it?
I've asked the ref how long left,
Yeah.
and he said 30 seconds, so
Right.
as soon as, you know, the way Lewis does, he's held it up well done, so
Yeah.
he's held it up, and I've just thought, give it me, do you know what I mean? And I thought, this is the last kick of the game, so I thought, if, you know what I mean, I'm not crossing it or anything, so I thought, if it goes in, it goes in, if it goes in the stands, it goes in the stands, do you know what I mean? Cut in as I always do. I've done it about 15 times this season. It's gone in the stands, but this time it went in, do you know what I mean? Yeah, just two of them come over and they got a bit tight to each other, and I just waited for them to, you know, wait to go, yeah. Luckily it went in.
Yeah, no, brilliant strike. I mean, we were sat in the stand right behind it, and you could see from minute one it was.
Yeah, it was just went in, yeah. Just hit it quickly, didn't I? Yeah.
No, great strike. Congratulations.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
I hope it's the first of many this season.
I know, yeah. Hopefully, mate. Yeah. Cheers.
Brilliant.
Right back, Ethan Gouldbourne started the season strong, and it was partly responsible for Mark Simpson going viral on Twitter at the start of the season against Kendall.
Clown shout.
It's definitely worth checking out on our YouTube, the Kendall highlights. Mark Simpson, it was very good value.
I think he was on about his 14th Guinness. Nobody, someone can put them away.
But Ethan had a solid start of the season, but has been ruled out with injury, unfortunately, since the start of August. But we spoke to him to see how he's getting on and when we could expect a return to action.
And also, after we spoke to Ethan, we also got him involved with the 2 mini motors, who done the, I'd say, 20-second challenge, 20-question challenge, but it's actually 24 questions today. So let's hope Ethan had some good fun with some conundrum questions.
A few surprise questions in there. Ethan, first of all, how are you? How's the injury doing?
It's getting better every day. Still not quite 100% yet, but yeah, like I said, I'm getting there. I'm closer to the comeback.
How long before you're hoping to be back on the pitch?
I couldn't really, no time scale as of yet. It's been a couple of weeks now, but I'm hoping at least two more weeks latest. That's that goal.
And I'm not saying it's linked, but the team are doing quite well in your absence.
I know. I've been coming to watch, and they've played well, haven't they? Let's be honest. They've watched 7 is it in the league? Yeah, so I've been coming to back the lads on the sidelines, and yeah, just got to keep the performance up, haven't we? Keep winning.
What's the mood like amongst the team?
Yeah, it's probably the best it's been since I've been here. The gaffer's happy, the players are happy, got a good bond going. We're just going to maintain that throughout the season.
Liam Turner stepped up in your absence, and then Matty Beamer came in against Burscough.
Yeah.
You might not be, willing them to not do well, but you want to be able to claim your place back, don't you?
Yeah, of course. I want them to do well, but there's a little thing in the back of my mind saying, but no, listen, they're two good lads. Matt especially come in from the reserve the other day, and he had a fantastic game, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope they do well. Two good lads, like I said, and yeah.
Just how desperate are you to get back on the pitch?
It's hard to watch. I'm watching from the sidelines. It's gutting really, but I'll be back soon, and I will, and I'll be back on the pitch as soon as possible.
Well, thanks for joining us, Ethan. This will be the toughest interview you faced today.
Yeah, perfect. I don't think so anyway.
Baby.
are you?
I'm Ethan Gouldbourne.
What position do you play?
I'm a defender, where I play right back.
Are you any good?
Might have to manage with that, mate. I'm not too sure.
I heard your dad was better than you.
Who said that? He's a good player, but he's not better than me. No way.
Your dad's a loon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lunatic anyway. You seen him yet? Oh my god, you don't want him.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
About 10,000. Yeah.
What pineapple belong on pizza?
Does it belong to pizza? No chance. No chance.
Who would win in a fight between Batman or Superman and Superman?
Oh, that's a good question. Superman.
Yeah, I think that's
Superman.
Are Jaffa cakes biscuits or cakes?
Cakes.
I said cakes.
Cakes all day.
What is the most boring sport?
Bowling, so there's quite a few, isn't there? Yeah. But I think of cricket. Cricket.
What is your karaoke song?
You might not know it, but I'm sure it also will. With the bright side human.
If animals could talk, what animal would be the rudest?
Cat. A cat.
Yeah.
A cat.
Why do round pizzas come in square boxes?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
What is your dream job?
Professional football player. That's my dream job.
Do fish get thirsty?
Not a horrible question. No, you can't, can you?
Go on.
Favorite holiday destination?
Dubai.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox. Where'd you get these two from, by the way?
If you had to,
I don't even know.
relocate, where would you least like to live?
Least like to live.
Yeah.
France. Don't like Paris.
Have you ever stolen from a shop?
Yeah, I have.
Best footballing moment.
Best footballing moment. Samen van Vauxhall Motors.
Okay.
What would you call a male ladybug?
A male ladybug?
Yeah.
A male bug.
What car do you drive?
Ford Focus.
Okay. Bye. That stuck to my hand.
Do you have an imaginary friends?
No, I don't think so.
Do you still sleep with a stuffed toy because you look about 12?
Yeah, definitely I still do. Still got any bed now.
Open out.
Round the bullseye.
Now, the whole premise of this podcast is to showcase the lower age groups here at Vauxhall, and now we're going to focus briefly on the reserve team, and reserve team manager Andy Cass spoke to us about his involvement here at Vauxhall and what he hopes to achieve with the reserve team. I'm delighted to say that joining us on the Motorsmart podcast is Andy Cass. Andy, thank you for joining us today.
No problem, mate. Good to be here.
So you are the Vauxhall Motors reserve team coach. You previously at Heswall, and then you've come to the
Heswall, yeah.
You come to the reserves team. So tell us a bit about your time coaching the reserves team so far.
It's been interesting. A strange pre-season. Started quite well. Had a opening game, and played well. New team, new group, all together. Looked all fine and dandy, and then had some really, really poor results. Pre-season, poor performances. Holiday season obviously impacts that, but numbers-wise we were good. But yeah, performance wasn't great, and a little bit alarming to be honest. But started the season, started really quite well. The first 45 minutes of the first game, winning 2-0 and threw it away and lost 3-2. Then played the old team Heswall here in the midweek and got our first win, which was not the prettiest of games.
What's that like for you?
Yeah, difficult because obviously lots of friends and lots of people that were at the club and still at the club. Obviously we brought a load across, as well as lads that were here now, here last year. So yeah, difficult, and we've just had announcement today the Cheshire Cup draw got Heswall away.
Yeah, saw that.
So we've drawn them in the Cheshire Cup as well as the Pike Cup. I was here for the meeting for the West Cheshire team and West Cheshire League meeting, and the draw was announced. There's a few laughs and jokes in the meeting about that, but yeah, 2 out of 4 cups got Heswall. So it is what it is.
It's like the universe is trying to tell you something.
Yeah, definitely. All blame me, I suppose.
What is it that attracted you to Vauxhall?
I mean, it speaks for itself here, doesn't it? The facilities, obviously what you guys are doing here, and from everyone, from the chairman all the way down, it's the best place about to be involved at football. I wasn't looking for a move. I was approached to come here, which is obviously a nice thing. And yeah, so far so good in terms of settling in. Everyone's been good with me and good with the lads that we've brought and the management team that we've brought. So positive to start. Results could get better. We've won 4 and lost 3 in the league. Got a tough game on Saturday against the champions, Merseyrail. But we're here to have a go,
On Saturday, Bank Holiday Monday, the first team played Berscow and Matthew Beeman made his first start for the first team, coming up from the reserves. Is that how you equate your success? Is how many players, or what progression those players make for the first team? Definitely.
I mean, this club's obviously, as I say, one of the best about, and it's been successful right the way through the junior section, the youth team last year. The youth teams this year should be strong again, and obviously we want to bridge the gap between that youth team into the first team, and getting lads into the first team, whether that's lads that have been here previously or new lads coming in, is exactly what we're here for. But equally, we're here to compete. I'm not here to just give players away and be an average side. We want to obviously be strong reserve team, because winning is winning across the whole club, and if everyone can be successful, and that's good for the club.
I've spoken to a lot of people at the club about the age groups all, having that progression.
Yeah.
So you've also got to integrate the under-18s as well. So what goes through that process of integrating them into your team?
So that's another reason I wanted to come here, because we had a strong youth team, strong junior section, strong youth team. We've had about 5 under-18s in our squads in every game this season, so that's good from the club perspective. And they're not there on, I suppose, just because they've been here before. They're here because they're good enough. There's more to come. There's lots of lads in the under-18s, lots of lads in the 21s that want to get involved, and that's good. Trained up here on Tuesday, there was 24 lads, and bulk of them under-18s, and that's good to see. It's good for us, because we've got a pool of people to pull from. But also, those lads should be aspiring to get in the first team, just like Matty Beeman did on Monday. I think there's a good group of them that are going to be good enough. I was told that when I came in, and I'm seeing that now myself. Hopefully they've all had the holidays now and they're all back into playing every week. The mad season of August, mad month of August, where midweek game and unable to train has obviously been happening, and that's impacted us a little bit, but now we can get back to settled Tuesday training and games on a Saturday, and hopefully that can start, reaping the rewards from that.
I know this next question is going to sound a bit unfair, because it's like asking you to choose who your favourite presenter on the Motormouth podcast is, but for anyone who may not have seen the reserve team in action, who would you say they should look out for if they came and watched your team?
So obviously we'll say about Matty Beeman. Matty Beeman's been given an opportunity. He's gone in.
He was really solid as well. When he came to the first team.
So Matty has been with me personally at Heswell for the last 4 years, and obviously come across with us. And lads like himself, Lewis O'Brien, Jack Darlington, Nathan Johnston, Shay Roberts, lads at a good age that should be aspiring to get into the first team. They've obviously got to be there regularly for us and doing it for us before they get that. That's why BMO's gone up and had to go. Hopefully he gets another chance on Saturday. But there's a bulk of the under-18s that were the under-18s last year that are now with us. There's Billy McGeer right back, there's Callum Hill, Zach Catsbury, really, really good lads who are strong and I believe will play first team football, and we're here to facilitate that.
Now, I'm not saying that your players will be sort of willing the first team to get injuries, but surely if they see an injured first teamer, they must sense that an opportunity could be there for them. Definitely,
and I think what also was happening this year, we've had lads come down from the first team. The first team captain, Tom Mitchell, came down for a game and was superb in around the dressing room helping the lads. And if we get that opportunity to have them coming down when they've had, out injured or on holiday or whatever it'll be, then our lads should be trying to aspire to impress them as well, because that feeds back up the chain. And, yes, football's all about opportunities, isn't it? If someone gets injured in a position, then they might get an opportunity just like Matty did. And he might keep his shirt, and that's good for the club. So yeah, I'm sure they've got their eyes on players who are pulling up injured and stuff, so, and a lot of our lads come down and watch the first team, which is good. So midweek games, if we're not training or finishing training, we want to be there watching, and I'm sure there's lots of lads judging first team players thinking I can do more than them, so absolutely. But that's only positive.
Final question for me, what are you hoping to achieve this season with your team?
So it's difficult to say. We've had an up and down start to the season. Never once said at the start of the season it will be challenging at the top end of the league, but I expect us to be competitive. I expect us to be a strong side. I expect us to be competing on all fronts. So cup competition is important for us, I think. The league, as I say, has been a bit up and down. We've got some catching up to do if we want to get up the top end of the table. I would like us to get over the trophy. That's why I manage a footy team. I want to lift trophies, and the lads do as well. And if that's this year, then great. And if it's not, we'll go again next year. But that's the aspiration for everyone. But equally, it is about bridging that gap between the 21s, the 18s to us, and feeding the first team. At the end of the day, we're feeding the first team. We should be there in reserve. That's what we're here for. But we've got to be successful ourselves, because otherwise, that won't happen.
So as Andy mentioned before, the reserves are in action on Saturday, 3rd of September. They're up against Mersey Royal, and that's a kick-off of 3:30 on the Astro pitches here at Vauxhall. Andy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so much. Some under-18s action for you now. The under-18s were in action last night in the FA Youth Cup preliminary round, and they were up against counterparts from Buxton, and Steve and I were there, and Steve, in truth, it wasn't the greatest game in the world.
It's not going to get released on DVD, right? But look, they're going to have the next round. Main objective, get through the game. It was scrappy. It was. Do you know what? I played in the FA Youth Cup, and it's similar to the FA Cup game for the men's teams. You get nervous. It's probably the biggest cup competition these kids are playing this season, so there will be a bit of nerves out there. But it was. I think he starts off really well. Buck's going to come into it. He had a couple of half chances. Shout out to the goalie Ollie as well. He tipped one over second dive.
Great save, wasn't it?
But we ground them down and got a 1-0. So that's all you can ask for. You're in the pot for the second round or the next round as it is. But yeah, it made the greatest spectacle, wasn't it?
Well, Steve and I were covering the match, and you can find extended highlights of the under-18s victory over Buxton on our YouTube channel. Good runner from Hill, plays it out wide to Ben Ryan, it's the cross in.
The ball.
It's a great ball in. It just doesn't fall. Jones bundled over in the box. The shot away. Oh! Jamie Gann.
Looked like no one wants to take the opportunity there. Pin ball in the area. Great finish bottom corner.
The cross came in from Ryan. It looked like Foster might have had a chance to back post, and then it came to Jones. He was bundled in the box, and Buxton just didn't want to clear it and fell to the left back, and he tucked it away with his right foot. I think Buxton might be a bit disappointed. They found themselves 1-0 down.
Yeah, after the first 20 minutes, I think they've been probably the better team, but have had better chances.
Jamie Gann. So Steve, that's another episode under our belts. Yeah. We're motoring on. Excuse the pun.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good part of the season is probably going to go now, because you do know that when we're doing commentary in the next couple of months, it's going to get cold here, isn't it?
That's what I'm not looking forward to.
We've had the joys of the sun, but we're going to be going into autumn now, so it's a bit colder for us. But from a team point of view, I just hope we kick on again. There's starting to be a bit of a gap now. From I think third and fourth down. We just need to keep the momentum going.
There are some anomalies in the league though, like Withenshaw. They've only played 3 games, and Avro 100% and haven't conceded a goal.
But any manager will say, yeah, they'd rather have points on the board.
Precisely, and those postponed games were like other teams' involvement in cups, so they're going to catch up, or they have to catch up.
Well, I think we've got a home game Saturday away at Litherland next week, or again it'll be a battle. But we just need to be pushing on. But it's totally different to watching this team than was watching them last season. It's been really good to watch. Mick McGrath building a great squad here.
And there's no reason why they can't replicate their August form going into September. We'll be back next month with all the roundup of the action in September.
Yeah, we'll also be speaking to Leo Riley, and he's going to be taking the Mini Motors 20 or 24 questions.
It varies from time to time.
And we hopefully will be able to pin Greg Bundle down to do the Legends part of the talk, part of the podcast. But it's just work commitment to Greg at the moment. I think he's moving house as well. So, but I'll try and pin Greg down, and that'll be great to have a little catch up and chat with Greg as well.
So we'll see you next month on the Motors Mouth podcast. Thanks for watching.